Hello everyone and welcome back to another session on Daily Current Affairs by SSB Crack Exams. I am Chetan Apura and I'll be taking you today's session for 28th of April. Now let us begin, and before we begin let me give you a brief about SSB Crack Exams. So this is a one-stop online solution for the courses related to major defense examinations, be it CDS, NDA, etc. For more details you can visit our website learn.ssbcrackexams.com. For regular video updates, daily current affairs and defense related videos, don't forget to follow and subscribe our YouTube channel SSB Crack Exams. Follow us on Instagram as well, and don't forget to download our SSB Crack Exams from Google Play Store for quick notifications. Now let us start, and before we start let me discuss the question of the day, which was from the last session. So in the last session I asked you guys what are the byproducts of hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, and this was in regard with the new project that has been taken by NTPC to launch 10 electric buses and electric vehicles in Leh and New Delhi, which will be hydrogen fuel based. So the correct answer for this is see, a fuel cell is device that converts chemical potential energy into electrical energy. Okay, and a proton exchange membrane cell uses hydrogen gas and oxygen gas as a fuel. So in a hydrogen fuel cell, hydrogen and oxygen is used as a fuel. Thus, the product of the reaction is water. Okay, so H2O is released as a byproduct, and of course, in return, we also get electricity as well as heat. Now let us move ahead and we start to discuss the news one by one. The first news is about the PM who interacted with this chief ministers of different state to plan ahead for tackling COVID-19. So PM Narendra Modi today interacted with chief ministers of states via video conferencing, of course, to discuss the emerging situation and plan ahead of tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. This was the fourth such interaction after the nationwide lockdown of the prime ministers with chief ministers. Earlier, it has been done on 20th of March, just 2 days before the Janta curfew. Then 2nd of April, 11th of April, and this was the fourth occasion, which happened on 27th of April. Okay, now what were the key takeaways from it? So let us discuss that also. So lockdown has yielded positive results, managed to save thousands of lives. Our aim must be to rapid response, need to follow mantra of Do Gaj Duri, which is almost a Hindi name for social distancing. Effort should be directed towards converting red zones into orange zones, and then thereafter to green zones. The danger of the virus is far over, and constant vigilance is paramount important. Give importance to economy, bring reforms that touch the lives of common citizens. Apart from that, emphasis of use of technology, research and innovation to fight the pandemic. More people are downloading Arogya Setu app to bolster our efforts in fight against COVID-19. Arogya Setu app is a tracing app. Need to keep a close vigil on international borders, ways to further boost health infrastructure. Gratitude towards police force and medical staff for exemplary work done by them, as they are working and they are directly exposed to the most serious situations. So this was all about the PM's interaction with the chief ministers. Now moving ahead, we have another news. HIL moves Indian mission to attract JV, which is joint ventures investments in agrochemical projects. Okay. Now, for smooth running of PSUs, Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals has taken initiative on the direction of Union Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers, who is Shri D.V. Sadanand Gaura, who has advised that Indian corporates, especially PSUs under his ministry, should try to convert COVID-19 adversity into an opportunity of attracting investments from abroad. Now, what is this HIL? If you're not aware of this, so HIL is nothing but Hindustan Insecticides Limited, which is a PSU. Under the department is looking for expanding its business area and has sent proposal to Indian embassies, missions in China. So Indian embassies in China, Japan and South Korea for inviting interested agrochemical manufacturers in the respective countries for investment in India for business tie-up with HIL, which is Hindustan Insecticides Limited, including contract manufacturing or be it plan on lease arrangement. This was the news. Moving on to our next news is a good news regarding coronavirus update. 5 out of 8 northeast states are corona free. So, total of 8 northeastern states: Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Tripura, and Mizoram. 5 of these states have been declared corona free, and the remaining 3 has not reported any new cases of corona in a very long time. So 8 northeastern states are corona free, while the other 3 have not added new corona positive case. Like I said, this was disclosed here by Union Minister of State Development of Northeastern Region, Ministry of State PMO, Personal Public Grievances, Pensions, Atomic Energy and Space, who is Dr. Jitendra Singh. Which were the 5 states who were declared corona-free? So Sikkim, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur and Tripura are totally corona-free, while the other states, Assam, Meghalaya and Mizoram, had 8, 11 and 1 corona-positive cases respectively, who will soon become negative as per their status. Moving ahead, Union HRD Minister interacts with parents across the country through webinar regarding the e-learning portal. Now, the minister, through his webinar interaction, informed all parents about various campaigns and schemes for online education, which is being run currently by the ministry, HRD Ministry. Ministry is trying to continue the education of all students through various schemes, namely e-Pathshala, National Repository of Open Educational Resources, Swayam, and a DTH channel, Swayam Prabha. All these are free. Okay. Now, a good news came as far as this Swayam scheme is concerned of HRD Ministry. So 6 courses of Swayam appear in Best 30 Online Courses 2019 in the Class Central list. This is a list which is prepared in par with the level of MITs, Harvard and other international universities. The Class Central, a free online courses, also known as MOOC, aggregator from top universities like Stanford, MIT, Harvard, etc., has released a list of 30 best online courses of 2019, out of which 6 courses are from Swayam. This is a very, very good news, and this speaks about the quality of the scheme that the Indian government is providing in the field of e-learning. The study of webs of active learning for young aspiring minds, which is the full form of SWAYAM, you must remember this, an integrated platform for online courses using information and communication technology, which covers school from 9th to 12th up to postgraduate level. Now, what are the 6 courses which were selected in top 30? So the 6 courses are academic writing, which was from HNB Gadwal University. Then digital marketing from Punjab University, animations from BHU, mathematical economics by Doon University, Python for data science from IIT Madras, then early childhood care and education from Avina Shillingam Institute of Home Sciences, and higher education for women, Coimbatore. Okay, now moving on to our next news. Next news is under smart city missions. So Varanasi smart city uses drones to sanitize areas for controlling spread of COVID-19. Varanasi smart city has engaged Karuna Aerospace Private Limited, which is a Chennai-based firm, for spraying sanitizers all across the city under smart cities mission. Okay, now the spraying of sanitizer through drones is prioritized for obvious reasons for hotspots and containment areas identified by the district administration or the CMO, which is Chief Medical Officer. This will be followed by isolation areas and in the quarantined areas, shelter homes and other places where manual spraying is quite difficult. The areas where drones are to be deployed is decided by a team of Varanasi Nagar Nigam officials. Moving on to the next news. Ayush Ministry promote manufacturing of herbal formulation to boost immunity. Recipe of a herbal decoction has been handed out by Ayush Ministry to states and union territories, asking them to promote commercial manufacturing of the formulation, which it claims can boost the body's immunity amid COVID-19, which is a very, very important part boosting immunity is a very important part as far as recovering from this coronavirus is concerned. The Ministry of Ayush, which is also short form for Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy, said the formulation is in the interest of health of promotion of masses, which has been endorsed by the Prime Minister himself. Apart from these herbal formulation, Ayush Ministry has also promoted age-old practices to boost immunity. For example, uh, Ayurveda's preventive care derives from concepts of dincharya, daily regimes, and ritucharya, seasonal regimes for maintaining a healthy lifestyle. What are the general measures that you can use to enhance immunity, which was released by Ayush Ministry in a poster? So you can drink warm water throughout the day, always drink lukewarm water. Daily practice of yoga, pranayam, and meditation for at least 30 minutes, and use turmeric, cumin, and coriander and garlic in cooking, which in Indian households is generally already used. Okay, so this was the advisory released by Ayush Ministry. Now, moving on to our next news. Again, we'll be discussing one more startup which is working uh, together in a fight against coronavirus under AIM, which is Atal Innovation Mission. So, which is of course a part of Niti Aayog. Now, the name of this mission is Trivettron, which is supported by EIC CCAMP. Now, what are the key offerings that this startup is providing? So, this is nothing but making affordable medical technologies solutions accessible across the globe. So, again, this is also a startup which is in the pharmaceutical sector. Moving on to our next news, enhancing ease of doing business in Indian E&P sector. E&P sector and is E stands for and production, exploration and production sector. Now, simplification of processes under production sharing contract is a testimony of Government of India's commitment towards enhancing ease of doing business in the Indian exploration and production sector, with focus on increasing domestic hydrocarbon production and investment. Earlier, uh, the processes were quite complex, but in order to achieve the ease of doing business, uh, the processes have been simplified. Now the processes includes various processes have been, you can say, uh, categorized into three different categories: category A, B, and C. So category A will have 22 processes: online submission, self certification, and no approval will be required for this. Category B, online, which will have just three processes: online submission, self certification, and demand approval after just 30 days. Category C, 12 processes. Prior approval is needed and required through MC. Okay, so this was a step taken by the government of India in order to ease of doing business, in order to achieve ease of doing business. Now, moving ahead, amidst this economic crisis, also RBI has announced liquidity measures for mutual funds. And why was it done? Of course, to ease the economic impact of COVID-19. Now, what does this mean? This means that see, total of 50,000 crore rupees of special liquidity facility of mutual funds have been announced. Banks will use availed funds for meeting the liquidity requirements of mutual funds, and RBI to conduct repo operation of 90 days tenure at fixed repo rate under SLF and MF. Okay. Apart from that, banks can submit their bids to avail functions on any day except holidays. Funds availed to be used exclusively for meetings liquidity requirement of mutual funds, and it must not be used for any other purpose by banks, and mutual funds to be exempted from banks capital market exposure limited. So this was a very good step that was taken by RBI in order to combat the economic crisis. Now, moving on, let us discuss the current COVID-19 status in India. So, as of 28th of April, 8 a.m., the total number of active cases was 21,632, with cured 6,868, which is a good news. The number of cured patients is rapidly increasing. Unfortunately, the number of deaths is 934, with one migrated patient. Okay, guys, so now it's quiz time. Our first question for the quiz today is, when is World Malaria Day celebrated? It was recently celebrated, and your options are these. The correct option for this is option A, which is 25th of April. Now, the next question is, what is AIM mission by Niti Yog? So you have to basically tell the full form of AIM. Atal Incubation Mission, Atal Innovation Mission, Ascent Innovation Mission. I have discussed this in today's session. I have also discussed this in previous session. So the correct answer for this is Atal Innovation Mission. Okay. The next question and the last for today is, what is the name of DTH channel for e-learning launched by HRD Ministry? Swayam, Swayam Prabhat, e-Vidyan. So Swayam is a scheme. Swayam Prabhat is the name of the channel. E-Vidyan is also a scheme launched by Indian government, HRD Ministry. So the correct answer for this is Swayam Bharat. Okay. Now, moving on, and the last part of our session, which is the question of the day. You have to write the answer of this in the comment section below. What is the objective of Smart Cities Mission of India? So write your answer in the comment section below. The answer to this question will be discussed in the next session. Till then, thank you, be safe, and Jai Hind.